Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michael from Family Gamer Review, and today for the Light It Up Blue challenge, we are going to do Aqua Kitty. Actually, Aqua Kitty UDX. Aqua Kitty UDX, oh, excuse me, is a fun, 2D shooter. So for the older gamers out there that may remember Defender, and I may be dating myself, but this is identical to Defender. You're going to see. Well, pretty much, let me go ahead and give you a quick story about this. This is a game in which the cats have ran out of milk, and they found milk at the bottom of the sea. And at the bottom of the sea, they found a way to mine the milk. But these evil robots, they're coming after them, and then you are the Aqua Kitty. You're in your little, submarine, and you have to defend the kitties from being kidnapped and, defend the milk supply. Let the milk flow. Okay, that was my artistic rendition, but you guys get the point. As you see here, this is a game that is a 2D side-scroller. Again, this is very, classic as far as like the Defender style, for an example. For those, again, like I said before, that have played Defender. Each level consists of waves of enemies coming onto the screen. As you progress in the game, there's more enemies. As always, as a non-spoiler, we don't try to show later levels in games, as we want players to be like shocked and surprised and pleasantly, pleased when they get to later levels and they see like variations that the developers put in. Always, we never try to do a let's play session unless a game deserves like hey, you have to have this game in your library. But we're always mindful of the fact that we don't want to spoil anything for any gamers. So that being said, what I'm going to do, because it is Good Friday today, and I'm going to make this a shorter, telecast on this, is I want to showcase some of the levels, different game modes, and then I'm going to have Camille come in. And again, we have to apologize for being late because here in New Jersey, we had some power outages, and right now we're on backup generators, so we may only have like 15 to 20 minutes at most. But getting back to the level of why this game is a must-have for your digital library, is for anyone that has any special needs gamers, this is a game that it's just so much fun. And I was thinking about like how we're gonna conduct this broadcast, and I was like, how do you say such good things about something that, when you play it, it's just, you're just gonna look at it and just say, wow, this looks like a fun game. And it is. The best beauty of it is that 2 players can play on this simultaneously. So, there is no matter of like a separate screen or anything. Everybody shares the same screen. This is a great game when we, work with parents and so forth. We always, bring one of these is one of the games that we do bring out. We encourage parents, not players, to play this game with their kids. And at first they're like, well, this seems like something that's too hard. And when they see how easy the gameplay is, especially for grandparents that, grew up in the 70s and 80s, they recognize right away that this is the Defender style. And they are like, wait a minute, I think I played this in the arcade like 30 years ago, and all of a sudden their naysayers become yay-sayers, and they're like, oh wow, I want to play this. This looks fun. And that's what it is. We've noticed this is a huge hit in the office, both with our special needs gamers as well as like parents and children playing together. This is just, again, guys, one of those overall fun games. Now, there's this mode here that I'm playing, where you have to defend the kitties and you go by waves, different parts of the ocean. And as you progress in the game gets progressively harder with more enemies, more, ways to defend the kittens and so forth. And I could openly, contest to the fact that, see, this is what happens when you have allergies. Openly say that this game does get a little bit harder at later levels because there's more action on the screen, a little bit more difficult enemies. The developer didn't make the game overall so difficult where it's unplayable. It's something that, you have to keep in mind that, to balance a challenge factor to a non-challenge factor, there has to be more, more variation in enemies, a little bit harder. So it's not something that the developer did on purpose. As you see, I'm on level 3. And my little submarine, exploded, but no worries because my kitten had a, aqua suit. Yes, I said that. So, as you see here, this is, let me exit here. So when there's, yes, Camille asks, is that a kitten smoking a pipe? Yes, because he's a pirate head. So, yes, that's a kitten smoking A pipe with a pirate hat, Camille. She just asked that if you couldn't hear. So if you see here, towards the lower middle screen, there's a classic mode and arcade mode for those that want to play arcade, and I'll play this very quickly, where you collect gems and you boost up your weapons and defenses and so forth. This is more meant for players like, if you have like, children that have older and younger siblings, for them to challenge themselves. A lot of times here at the office, we have, older brothers and younger brothers that always challenge each other, to see if they could get this higher score or lower score, who can do better and so forth. So as you see here, if you see here, the more gems you collect, the better power-ups you can purchase, such as like replenishing your heart. You could, get better weapons, better defense, and so forth. So as you see here, I upgraded my weapon to shoot up and down as well. And I will save the kitty because, that's your job. You have to protect the kitties. Where there's no milk, there's no happy kitties. And trust me, for cat owners, the last thing you don't want is an unhappy cat. So next you know, they'll jump on you when you're trying to do work and all that. But as you can see here, this is a fun game. And as the waves go on, this is the last wave. That was the last enemy. And they're not difficult. The game is not difficult at all. Back to the next level. You get to keep the power-ups in between levels, which is good. Especially for those that are planning to take on the arcade mode. This is very, very handy. As, later levels do get more, chaotic. And I do have a video of this review. We did a review a couple of months back of Aqua Kitty, and, we did a video review of this, and you can find it on our YouTube page. On that footage, we actually use another account, of course. On that footage, you will see, like, some of the later levels where it actually becomes chaotic. And, again, that's just, different tastes. Some people may like that, challenge. Others may say, no, it's too much. As you see right here, I have the ability to change, I got 2 gems, so I have the ability to, upgrade weapons, or how some people do, like myself. I may save it, because I do want to get the better bonuses. Well, I hear the kittens again being, taken. Leave the kitty alone. Yes, I talk in a funny accent. But after I get done with this level, there's another mode that was added to the Xbox One version. I'm not sure if it's on the PlayStation 4 version, but I believe it's just on the Xbox One and PC, which is a Dreadnought mode, where you kind of fight like boss battles one at a time. And it's actually a fun mode for those that are looking for a challenge. So what I'm going to do is go to Dreadnought, but I'm going to, the difficulty to easy, of course, because of the broadcast. And there is a big difference between easy and normal. So for those that are wondering, is there any type of difference? There is. As you see here, this is Dreadnought mode, where you kind of go into a boss battle with a larger ship. And every few moments, the ship will drop I would say like a torpedo strike, if that's the right wording. And there's a kitty that's floating in a super bubble. And then there's a power-up that I got. And right now, that noise means that the enemy is dropping bombs. And once you defeat enough of the ship, you could then start attacking its core. The core itself, now I got a quad shot, meaning shooting in all 4 directions. Once you start doing that, you can start attacking the core to bring it down. Now, if you push B on the Xbox One controller, it gives you more of a rapid fire shot like you saw a moment ago. And it's dropping more bombs. And if you want to see how much energy the ship has, of the core itself, more or less, it shows right there where it says core. Every time I shoot it, it depletes more and more. And I'm going to defeat this thing in a few moments. I'm going to use the rapid fire burst. There we go. And the enemy is defeated. And the kitten is saved. So, again, guys, from a gamer's aspect, as well as working with children with special needs, or just any type of gaming, this is one of those titles I personally recommend and tell people this is a must-have game. No questions about it, no doubts whatsoever. This is a must-have game. The developers did a phenomenal job on this game. It's just fun. not only is it special needs fun, for your special needs gamers, it's just fun. I can't just say enough. This is one of those games that puts a smile on your face, and you just love it all over. So because of the limitations of our broadcast right now, I'm going to hand it over to Camille, where she is, getting herself a glass of water. And give me 1 second, and she'll take over.
Hey everyone, it's Camille. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us for this very special feature of Aqua Kitty on day 14 of the Lighted Up Blue Challenge. We're very excited to feature Aqua Kitty. The irony is we're very excited to feature it. We don't have much to say about it because it's just awesome. It's that simple. It is... Oh, save that kitty. Save the kitty. There he goes. It's really a fun game. It's one of those games that can help you... Oh, save that kitty. You got him. All right. Kitty is saved. It's one of those games that is a great door opener if you are wondering about starting to game with your family, whether they're on this spectrum or not. It's all around just a fun game. To be perfectly honest, Mike and I have actually sat just ourselves and played Aqua Kitty before, because after playtesting, it was just that much fun. It really is. As you can see, it couldn't be more harmless. If anything, it's just downright hilarious. You're saving underwater kittens from robotic fish, and it doesn't get much funnier than that. But as you know, one of the things that I always look for in game titles in our current day and age, where we are in the gaming industry today, we're in a time where different titles can actually benefit your kids. They can help with certain developmental skills. And Aqua Kitty, in my opinion, there's definitely the sensory aspect. You've got action moving in all directions, but it's not an overwhelming type of... Oh, we have a boss battle. Did they take a kitty? Oh, they took a kitty. Sorry, folks, I get really suspenseful when I hear a kitty being taken. So there's a huge sensory aspect to this game because of the colors, the direction of the... I guess you'd call them bullets? Or, yeah. Whatever your little ship is shooting out in order to save the kitties, and obviously the so-called enemy is trying to shoot you with something and you have to dodge it. So there's a pattern element to it. There is a sensory element to it, and in my opinion, for younger kids, there is also a cognitive aspect to it. And the reason I say that is because unlike your average platformer of any kind, even like Rayman Legends, for the most part, your attention is always forward. You're always paying attention to the direction in which you're going or in which you're facing. In Aqua Kitty, there's one unique little detail that sort of takes it to the next level, and that's the fact that you have to listen out for those little cries. I'm gonna try and be quiet and see if... I can let you hear one. Oh no, he defeated the boss. When the next level starts. So when you hear the little meow, that's a a little Aqua Kitty being kidnapped from his little milk habitat. See right there, he just saved a kitty. Oh no, I could have sworn I just saw one of those, what are the little octopus type robots? Look, see? There he goes, he's taking a kitty. And if he makes it to the surface, you lose a kitty. Ah. Oh, get him. Yay! Ah, saved out of the air. That's awesome. That was suspenseful. So as you can see, there is, you know, like Mike said, the Defender style gameplay to it that makes it very easy for anyone to pick up and play, but there's sort of a cognitive slash sense sharpening aspect of it, because you do have to listen for those little meows. Because sometimes a little kitty that's being catnapped is not necessarily facing the direction you're going in. Sometimes you hear that little meow. See? That little bad robot fish was trying to take the kitty away. So you have to listen for those little meows, and sometimes they may not be in front of you, so you may have to turn around and go in reverse. And I like that because, can we get, yes, another sky save. Little guy almost got away with the kitty. Oh no. Mike asked me to pass along. In arcade mode, the major difference is that when your character dies, you do have to start over from the beginning. Which is how it works in an arcade, so that makes sense. But I like it. You know, the cognitive aspect to it, paying attention to the kitties, and then especially if you add the aspect where you're collecting gems. Yeah, he's got little, if it couldn't get any cuter, he's got little mini kitties, or had little mini kitties that were his little wingmen. Oh, save the kitty. There you go. So, in that aspect, one of the great things about this game is that you can customize it. If you want it to be very simple and very plain, especially starting out, then you start out on easy and in regular mode, so there are no gems to collect. And, you know, you have the most basic, easy element of the game, and it can be sort of a grow with you type of game, because as you get better at being able to pay attention to more than one thing at once by listening to where those kitties are who need your help, you can adjust the difficulty and you can move it up a little bit, or actually quite a bit, depending on how you set everything in terms of the level difficulty, whether or not it's in arcade mode. This is in the what? Oh yes, the Dreadnought mode, which is basically just a one big boss battle. So if you want to go really challenging, then you go to Dreadnought mode. And of course, I say really challenging, but you just saw Dreadnought mode for yourself. It's by no means is it rocket science. It's a very, very kid-friendly game, very family-friendly game, especially for moms, dads, aunts, uncles who haven't picked up a controller since the Duck Hunt days. This is a great game to pick up and play and be able to spend time with the gamers in your family, spend time with a gamer who's on the spectrum, and you'll both have a fabulous time. And it's great for that reason. Inclusion is one of the most important factors when it comes to something being family friendly for someone on the spectrum. The ability for younger and older siblings to play the same game, even at the same time, or for young and old to play together. I don't mean old in a derogatory way. I mean young gamers and grown-ups alike. This is true. Mike made a great point. This is a great game for grandparents and grandchildren, believe it or not. And that's what we're trying to feature a lot during our 30-day Light It Up Blue Challenge, are games that really are inclusive, have some sort of element to them in terms of developmental skills, whether it's sensory, whether it's cognitive, whether it's the physical aspect of the hand-eye coordination, which is critical for younger kids. And so this game, in that sense, really has it all. Mike, what would you say the target age group would be?
Special.
Yeah. I would agree. I would say 6 is the ideal age for a kid to pick up this game, or in that ballpark there. If they're too much younger, and you know your child, you know your gamer, or at least you should. Definitely get involved in the gaming. It's not just good for the kid, it's good for anyone playing with the child also. Sorry folks, I'm getting a little caught up in the game. For battle time. Huh? So, as I was saying, again, you know your gamer. You know your whether they're special needs or otherwise, whether they're 5, 8, whatever the case. Our opinion is that 6 years old is sort of a general benchmark of when a child will have the hand-eye coordination to really excel at this game. By the same token, playing the game helps you develop hand-eye coordination. So if you have a child, especially a child on the special needs spectrum, where certain cognitive skills tend to develop very quickly, this may be suitable at 5. If the opposite is true, it's more for 7 or 8 years old. That's where it comes to you knowing your gamer. And, I will tell you, gaming with your child is just as wonderful. It has just as many benefits for the grown-up as it does the child. Because, again, like I've said about so many titles, Peggle 2, Zuma's Revenge, Toy Story War Chest, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. These are all games where if you pop in the game at the end of a hard workday, before you go for that glass of wine, I guarantee you are going to be just as calmed down and just as relaxed after 20 to 30 minutes of one of these games as you would have if you had a glass or two of wine. That's how relaxing they can be. I know that saving the kitties can be a little bit suspenseful, but that's what makes the game fun. So, and let's listen. Oh, did you hear that meow? Go find him. There he is. Yay, freedom. Where is he? Oh, there are his little wingman kitties that help him. That was a close one. Oh, where'd they go? Ah, temporary assistance. So we don't have much else to say for Aqua Kitty, except that it's fabulous. It's a definite must-have in your digital library. It is an excellent family game. It's a great game for kids on the spectrum and for kids who are not on the spectrum. So it has the inclusion aspect. I dare say this, one of the things I love about it is because you have to be aware of kitties who are at risk while you're going through the regular platforming. Not platforming, but underwatering. I don't know. But because you have to have sort of a dual task at hand, you're shooting the robotic fish, but at the same time you have to listen for those little meows and make sure you save the kitties. And my cat is actually staring at me while I talk. This is weird. I don't know if you all heard that, but he's given me a meow of his own. He wants me to end the broadcast and play with him. But I think it's great because for me, if a child can learn at 6 years old to start paying attention to other things other than what's directly in front of them, then later in life that could help them with their ability to be aware of their surroundings. And then it's no longer a simple issue of a video game and robotic fish. I mean, that is a critical skill for any child to have for their own safety. Being able to see more than just what's right in front of your face, and also to be cognizant of what's happening in your surroundings. And so that's something special about Aqua Kitty that I really like. And with that, my cat is getting very persistent, so I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Mike, what do we have coming up tomorrow night? Ah, that's right. We are going to be starting later or broadcasting a little bit later in the evening because we know that it's a holiday weekend and a lot of people may be mid-dinner with family. So just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that. Don't forget, you can always tune in for the replay at FamilyGamerReview.com or on our YouTube channel. So enjoy. Go save some kitties. Have a fabulous weekend. Thank you for joining. Cootie, do you want to say it in the microphone? Here. Say it in the microphone. Now he gets shy. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end the broadcast. Again, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being with us tonight. And we will see you tomorrow night with another fabulous title for the 30-day Light It Up Blue Challenge.
Take care.